Hello and welcome to my talk about Asteroid goddess Diana and her transits in fall-winter 2022. And I'm doing this talk for the EA Zoom meetings channel. I'm so happy that you give me the opportunity to talk about Diana. And today, the day of the talk is September 19th in 2022. And yes, why do I want to talk about Diana? First of all, I highly recommend you to watch my Diana talk that I have already given here on EA Zoom meetings. I think it was in July. And in this video, I really go deep into the archetype and the mythology, the pre-Hellenic myth, the classical myth about Asteroid goddess Diana. I talk about her significance for us today as humans on planet Earth, and I talk about the main topics around goddess Diana. So it would be supportive if you want to watch this video to understand what I'm sharing now on a deeper level. But yeah, you can for sure watch this video without watching the other two. So what I want to share is I feel very called to talk about Diana because I think she holds a very special medicine and message for us, especially this autumn and winter. And Diana is currently retrograde in Pisces. And what I want to do is shortly introduce her archetype, very shortly, and then with a little presentation. And then we look at some charts, and I want to share some reflections that I have about Diana in the context of the overarching astrology. And two things that are very important for me. When I'm talking about transits in general, I'm always seeing transits, and I think that is very much in alignment with our EA perspective, our evolutionary perspective. I see transits as the reflection of the overarching evolutionary curriculum for the individual soul and for the collective. So no planet is doing something with us. It's all just a mirror and a reflection of an energy, an evolutionary storyline, curriculum that we can see in the heavens. And so astrology is such a wonderful tool to really learn more about our individual soul's evolution and the evolution of the collective, so that we can interact with the energies, with the transmutation and transformation, and not feel like we are the victims of something. And the other thing that I want to share is, as you maybe know when you have watched my first video about Asteroid goddess Diana, I have written a book about Diana, her astrology, Diana, where I describe not only Diana's archetype, but really go in depth into Asteroid goddess Diana in the birth chart, in the 12 astrological archetypes, signs, houses, and so on. And this book is not yet published. I'm in the editing process. It's very exciting. I don't know exactly when it will be published, how it will be published, but it will be published. So everything that I'm sharing here and that I'm knowing about Diana so far is based on my book. And I did this book last year. I've written the book last year. And I really want to say, this book and everything that I'm sharing now about Diana, it's just an invitation. I don't consider myself as a Diana expert. For that, I would need, to say that I'm an expert with integrity, I would need years of research, years of being with Diana. And I don't have that. But Diana really called me because of different factors. She plays a huge role in my own chart. She's a skipped step. And I had last year an extended Diana return. So she was retrograde in Capricorn and retrograde over my natal Diana in Capricorn. So she really came to me. And everything that I'm sharing is just what I experience with Diana in my personal life, what she is saying to me, what I was allowed to channel through her, or what came through me when I have written the book, because it felt very much that I'm channeling Diana's energy, Diana's archetype, Diana's message. And I see myself really as a vessel, as a messenger. And for sure, I did research, and I'm still doing research. I work actively with Diana, but I'm not an expert. And everything that I'm sharing is just an invitation, and an invitation that you start to connect with Diana. When you're an astrologer, maybe you want to integrate Diana in your studies, in your counseling work. And I'm super interested in how you experience Diana, at the moment. I'm super happy if you want to share your Diana experiences, your point of view, your perspectives about Asteroid goddess Diana with me. So don't hesitate to write your opinion, your perspectives, what you experience in the comments of this video below, or you can write me an email. You find my email address in the description of the video. So it's mail@verenaborell.com. But now I want to start to share my screen and show you my little presentation. And first of all, we want to look at Diana. And then I want to look at some charts with you. So as I said, this talk is for EA Zoom meetings, and we have September 19th in 2022. Okay, yes, the presentation is based on my book. So if you wanna learn more when the book is published, please join my mailing list. You find the link below this video. This, you can take a screenshot if you want. These are just books about Diana's mythology and her archetype. There's not an astrological book about Diana. I have written that. But yeah, just for your information, maybe you want to take a screenshot. Yeah, today we look at Diana's mythology and archetype very briefly, and then we look at the transits in fall 2022, Diana's message and medicine. So, as I said, I go in depth about Diana's mythology in my first video that I did for EA Zoom meetings, but here just an overview. So I look at Diana in two parts. So I look at the pre-Hellenic original myth, which stems from the times of the age of Taurus and the matriarchy, and times where the great goddess was honored. And in these mostly oral, the myths there, it was an oral tradition, so it is really difficult to find something about that. But Charlene Spretnak has written down in her book Lost Goddesses of Early Greece many of the original myths about the goddesses. And here we see Diana in harmony with nature, with animals, humans, and Mother Earth. Diana is she's the goddess of the young waxing moon, and she is really a fertility goddess who nurtures nature, who is an dance and play with all of the animals, with nature, with trees, with plants. She's interconnected in harmony with nature. She's not a huntress as we know her in the classical myth. She's really, she's a protector. She's a protectress of humans, of animals, of nature. She helps nature to bloom and create new life. She is in this ecstatic moon dances together with animals. She's depicted in very, very old statues and images, always in dance with animals, in harmony with animals. And she's already the goddess of childbirth, and she helped human and animal mothers to give birth to their children. And in the classical Olympian myth, her realm changes a bit. So at first she is a little bit, she stays in the shadow of her brother. And her brother is Apollo, god of the sun, and she's just goddess of the moon. And she was known in the classical Olympian myth as proud huntress and Arca, and she is still a protectress, especially for young girls and women, against the violation of man. So she felt intuitively when women were in need of help because men wanted to violate or rape them, and then she came and saved them and was very, very, very aggressive against the persecutors. So she was known for her merciless rage. So we see in this archetype in the classical myth the sacred anger of Diana. So in both the original and the classical myth, we see Diana as untamed virgin goddess who lived in the wilderness of nature. She was the goddess of childbirth, and protected women and animals in need, especially against the violation of man. She was best friend with every soul she liked. So she had friends that were animals, plants, gods, humans, independent from gender, status, and species. So she stands for the concept of soul love, independent from any condition. Very important, Diana did not care about given standards and conformity. She followed her natural instincts, intuition, truth, and gnosis. So she really decided unapologetically what was right for her and chose independently from authority figures of Olympian rules. That's really, really important. So she really withdrew and lived in the forests. That is especially important when we talk later about Diana and Pallas Athena, where she's building Trines with at the moment. So Diana really is this goddess who said, okay, you can do your thing, society, Mount Olympus, you are doing your things, I'm doing my thing, I'm doing my things, I'm going into the forest, I live in the wilderness, and I come when I want to come, then I join you, but let me live my way. I'm really, my own self-authority. And what is really important for Diana too, and so crucial for our times today, she balanced nighttime and daytime consciousness. So she's at the one hand, the goddess of hunt, who really goes for her goals. So there is a yang quality, and she's goddess of the waxing moon. So the growth, the yang quality of Diana, but she's also the moon goddess. And she often hunted by night. So there's this nighttime consciousness. She's the protectress. She knows about the resources of Mother Earth. So she really is in harmony with nature. She hunts, but she knows about seasons. So she never hunted female animals to save and protect the species. She knows that there are natural rhythms of harvesting, of hunt, and of rest, rejuvenate, cultivation. And yeah, she embodies really a wild spirit who nurtured and protected nature. Now we come to Diana's astrology, and this is, yeah, the evolutionary intent of Diana is the rewilding of the soul, the reclamation of our true nature, and the return to natural law that always balances our personal desires with the greatest good for all, Mother Earth, nature, and the whole universe. And I really want to, maybe you want to close your eyes and really depict the spirit of Diana. The spirit of Diana, that is an archetype that is everywhere and inside of you too. Maybe you want to breathe deeply and feel this untamed part of your soul that is there and completely independent from any conditioning, from any rules that you have ever learned. This part, Diana is this part of you that is independent, that is wild, that lives in harmony with your nature and with nature, that feels the interconnectedness. Diana is the wind in the forest. She is this fiery spark inside of your belly that just is this, I want to do that. I want to go for that. I don't know why, but I feel that I want to do that. I want to play in the forests. I want to be connected with my own nature. I don't want to behave as other people is expected from me. I really feel what is alignment with me. I cannot explain it, but I feel what is aligned with me and what are my values. And I follow this inner knowledge, this gnosis, my intuition. And I follow my intuition, my third eye, but I also follow my gut, my instincts. I know when I have to go and hunt, and I know when it's time to rest. I'm in harmony with the natural rhythms of life. I'm in harmony with natural rhythms of withdraw and be in connection with others. I rewild, I let go of all conditionings, of all rules, of everything that anybody has put onto my soul. I free myself from these two tight corsets and I come back to my soul's nature, to what is natural for me. And I understand that I'm a soul that incarnated on planet Earth and in a body. And that means that I'm part of nature. My body is the earth. I am aware of the protection of my body, of the earth, of natural resources. I know that my soul is free and wild and can go wherever it want to go. But I know also that it's not about going away from planet Earth or detaching from the body or detaching from nature. It's about bringing my higher consciousness, my free soul in alignment and in connection with the earth, with my body, with the lower chakras, with Mother Earth. So this is Diana. And maybe you feel her into yourself. And I want to invite you, you can stop this video and pause and feel how she feels in you. And she's a light. Diana is a light bringer. And she is the light bringer that connects the light of Mother Earth with the light of the divine and the cosmos, because that is all one. And here I want to thank my dear friend Martha Hines. She has also done several videos here for this channel because she helps me so much to connect to this earth light. Okay, now you have more an idea how Diana feels and what Diana is about. But now we have, as I said, Diana is currently retrograde in Pisces. And here are some ideas that I had, that I described in depth within my Diana book about Diana and Pisces. So what I saw in natal charts of clients and friends, and what I felt when I tuned into this idea of Diana and Pisces is Diana is really the goddess of birth. And when we consider Pisces as cosmic womb, Diana midwives the soul to give birth to their true eternal essence. And with Diana and Pisces, we can have this idea of rewilding our dreams, our feelings, our intuition, our spirituality. And Diana in Pisces can be this brave pioneer. The Diana soul wants to explore the nocturnal field of magic, dreams, intuitive art forms, the subconsciousness, and experiences. Yeah, and the soul, what can be a difficulty is that, or a challenge, that souls with Diana and Pisces have experiences where the soul had to function instead of feel. Or there can be the feelings of overwhelm, confusion, victimization, and the pressure to help everybody. And with Diana and Pisces, it's very important, I think, this idea of nature as a temple where God's source and the divine can be found. So this is Diana and Pisces in general, in a nutshell. But let's see, this is the quote from my book. With Diana and Pisces, the dark forest of the subconsciousness become a coulis for magic. The hunt turns into a prayer. The prey becomes a dream, an art form, a mystical practice that nourishes the soul with the feeling of oneness. Now we come to Diana's medicine and message. As I see it, or as I feel it now in the fall of the year 2022, and in connection to the other transits that we have, especially the Mars retrograde and the eclipses, I think that Diana can really help us to bring our goals and targets, what we are hunting, in alignment with a higher truth and love. So we have Diana, the huntress, retrograde. So she's resting. It's not the season to hunt at the moment for her. It's the season to rest. And she is in this sign of Pisces, where it is all about oneness. And she's conjunct Neptune almost all the time of her retrograde. So she is really connected to this idea of interconnectedness, of oneness. And the medicine can be here really to realign our goals and our path. So where are we going to? Where are we running through? What are our goals, and are these in alignment with truth? Are we connected to our nature? Are we connected to nature? Or do we destroy and exploit ourselves, our own nature? And I think that really Diana helps us to become aware of our all-connectedness, Pisces, the oneness with nature, the earth, our body, the planet, the plants, everything that is. And she can help us to find a balance between our soul that incarnated as a human. So we really, with Diana and Pisces, have this feeling for our dual or multiple nature. We have a free will, we are independent, but we are interconnected with nature and oneness. And I think, here are some dates to really ground what I'm saying into the astrology. So Diana stationed retrograde on July 25th at 0 degrees 38 Aries. So she dipped her toe into Aries, but then went back retrograding into Pisces. And Diana will station direct on November 7th at 15 degree 23 minutes Pisces. And that is the one day before the lunar eclipse. We will have a look at that. And then Diana will ingress into Aries again on January 21st. And this is the day of the super powerful new moon in Aquarius, which is conjunct Pluto. And I think Diana is she plays such a big role during the lunar and solar eclipse this fall, and then she ingresses in Aries, conjunct Jupiter to the new moon in Aquarius in January. And yes, I think what her retrograde in Pisces is really about, this rebuilding of our intuition, the focus inward, the nighttime consciousness. So there are myths that tell us that Diana hunted by night. So really, in this, especially with Mars retrograde in a square to Neptune, and he will build squares to Diana too. I think Diana can really balance this energy of Neptune because she is the one with the goal, with the focus. And Neptune can be very overwhelming. And I think that this focus inward, this nighttime consciousness, this idea of bringing our goal into alignment with the higher truth, Pisces, Neptune, is a medicine in this time. And when we see Diana in a yin sign, so what I already said, there are hunting seasons and time to rest and to rejuvenate. And I have written down some questions that you maybe ask yourself if you want to, and you can take a screenshot if you like, and maybe journal or meditate about these questions afterwards. So, is your path in alignment with truth and love, Pisces? Or do you follow a way that others expect you to walk? Do you follow the way that a conditioned part, an inner critic or an inner authority figure expects you to walk? Or do you follow your own rules and self-authority? Are you afraid to enter into unknown territory, even though your intuition asks you to do so? And this unknown territory can be your inner subconscious forest, your subconsciousness. And what gift can we find in the darkness of our own inner forests when Diana turns retrograde inside of this magical world of Pisces? What can we find here? What can we find into the deep darkness of our forest? I think now it's time to have a look at some charts, because I think that it is important to ground that into the astrology. So, yeah. I want to show you some charts to illustrate how important Diana is at the moment and how interconnected she is with the current astrology and transits. So here we see the solar eclipse on the south node on October 25th. The times that I have here, the dates, it's all European Central European time, because I live in Austria. So maybe there are some differences. I mean, you have to count back 9 hours if you live on the West Coast in the United States. So there are maybe some hours difference, but I think you see the bigger picture. And what we see here is the sun and the moon in Scorpio conjunct Venus. Venus is still in the underworld. It's after her exterior conjunction with the sun. So she is already an evening star, but still in the underworld. And we see Diana in Pisces retrograde. Together with Astrea, I must say that I I'm really interested into learning more about Astraea. Astraea is a virgin goddess as well as Diana and Pallas and Vesta. And I know just little about Astraea. So I don't want to talk about Astraea here, but Astraea plays a big role too, and she's conjunct Diana for weeks. So I don't want to talk about Astraea because that does not feel that is not in alignment with my own integrity, because I don't know so much about her. But please note that Astraea is there too. But we see Diana here, conjunct Neptune within 10 degrees, within the 10-degree orb that we use in evolutionary astrology. And she is trine the south node and sextile the north node and sextile Uranus. And she's also trine Pallas Athena. We will talk about that later. So you see, here's this deep transformation that will happen during this solar eclipse, or this opportunity to deep transformation, a deep letting go, a deep purging and healing, maybe of soul entanglements where we have given our power away, where we have maybe with Venus together in relationships given our power away. And here's Diana, and she's saying, darling, look inside. You are wild and free. You don't have to give your power away to feel secure and safe. You are connected to everything that is. You are part of nature. You don't have to be afraid, Scorpio, to cut the cords to relationships where you merge too much, where you are controlled and manipulated by others. So really focus on your own values and focus on your virginity. That means that you are whole unto yourself. And be aware of power games and where you give your strength away. And she's really with the sextile to the North Node in Taurus and to Uranus. I think she really helps us to find this deep devotion to our own values and to our self-sovereignty and body sovereignty, and detangle our where we have given our power away. So then on the lunar eclipse, this is, I think one day after she turned, Diana stations direct on November 7th. And the day after is this lunar eclipse. So Diana is stationing at that time. She's stationing direct. She's not moving. Her energy is strong. Her energy is present. And she is together with Juno this time and Astraea. And Juno is conjunct Astraea. So we have this 3 goddesses here in Pisces. And she's still conjunct Neptune. And we see that Diana builds almost an exact trine this time to the sun, and an exact trine to Mercury in Scorpio, and for sure a trine to the south node too, and an almost perfect sextile to the moon and Uranus. And I mean, this lunar eclipse will be so powerful with the moon conjunct Uranus and Taurus, and Mars retrograde, and Neptune trine Pallas Athena, and Neptune and Jupiter both close together in Pisces again. So maybe there is such a healing power within this lunar eclipse. And I think that Diana is stationing direct just a couple of hours before this total lunar eclipse is really, when I feel into that, yeah, it's time to go in alignment with our truth. We reflected so much now, having the courage to really Uranus with the moon in Taurus, to really decondition, to feel our soul's isness, to feel into the divine intelligence that is represented by Uranus, the divine intelligence of our soul, and to trust our gnosis, our deep knowledge. Yes, I think there's so much more to say, but this is a chart for Diana turns direct. This is one day before that. I think that's very, very powerful. And yeah, then I want to talk a bit about Diana's square to Mars. So here she has two exact squares. The first square has already been at the beginning of September, but then the next square is on September 30, and the third and last square is on December 4th. So the first square is when Diana is retrograde and Mars is still direct, and the second is when Diana is direct and Mars is retrograde. And I have the feeling with Mars and Diana, it's really so much about bringing our goals in alignment with a higher truth. And I think I have some notes. Yeah, I think that Diana really invites us to, this Diana and Mars square really invite us to reflect about our goals. So are we hunting the right prey, the right quote unquote prey? Are we hunting a prey, a goal, a target that is alignment with truth? And I think that is so much Mars retrograde in a square to Neptune is about that. And I think that Diana really encourages us to not get too confused, because I think with Neptune and Mars, there's this really high potential of bringing our will in alignment with the higher will, with the divine. But there is this danger with Gemini square Pisces, Mars square Neptune, to really get confused and overwhelmed and maybe have the feeling of, oh, I actually have not any power because my plans, Mars, my mental made plans, my heady plans are not working. I cannot understand anything and everything is falling apart and I'm completely confused which way to go. There are so many possibilities. I don't know what. And Diana is really there and says, okay, hold on, look inside, connect with your gnosis, connect with your intuition. What is your path? What are you hunting? What are your goals? What is your prey? What are you praying for? And I think it's really this time to go inside, to withdraw, to feel into your gut, to trust your intuition. And I think Diana stands so much for this concept of gnosis, this inner knowledge. And Mars in Gemini is really a very intellectual, heady energy. So it's very much just in this head, in the intellect, in the left brain. And Diana, the square with Diana really says, okay, let go of everything that is too heady, that makes you nervous. You don't have to understand everything with your intellect. It's completely okay if you just understand it. End of the sentence. If you just feel it in your gut that it is right. You don't have to figure everything out on an intellectual level. It's about hunting in the darkness this time. We are in Pisces, we are retrograde. it's about setting one step for another, and really trusting your gut, trusting your instincts, trusting your gnosis, trusting your intuition, and align yourself with a higher will. See the soft beams of the stars and the moon falling onto your way, and follow that. You don't have to have already the master plan, and you don't have to intellectually understand it. And maybe it's all about letting go your intellectual plans and let a bigger, higher truth guide you. And how can we connect to a higher truth? The connection to a higher truth is our heart, our gut, our intuition. Our intuition is the portal to a higher truth. And when we look inside, we enter the portal into the Neptunian Piscean realm. And we can be guided, and we can feel the higher guidance that comes to us when we open our channel. And we can just open our channel when we calm down, when we retreat into the forests, when we withdraw from society, when we withdraw from media, when we really shut down our laptops and smartphones and everything and really go into the forest, then we can calm down and hear what we are meant to share, where we are meant to go. And Mars in Gemini can be so confusing and nervous and really, really challenging for our nervous system. And Diana says, close your laptop, go into nature and feel. Then we have, that is really interesting, we have Pallas and Diana in a trine, and that is exact on October 16. And I really want to share some thoughts about that. So Diana and Pallas Athena are both Jupiter's daughters, and they are both goddesses that are virgin, so whole unto themselves. And they are both goddesses that have this certain yang quality. So Pallas Athena is the strategist, and she has the master plan. So she's really about pattern cognition and having a strategy to foresee. Pallas Athena sees the goal, and then she develops the plan to reach the goal. But Pallas Athena, and that is really important when we look at both goddesses in contrast, Pallas Athena lived within the society. She was Jupiter's right hand. She lived on Mount Olympus. She was connected with the gods and goddesses. And I think that Pallas Athena is really about reaching our goals within certain social conditions, within a system. And Pallas Athena can really be about this idea of knowing the rules so that we can break them. But Pallas Athena is this part inside of us that, okay, I want to go for that. I want to do that. What is the strategy? What is the plan? And it is within a certain structure. And Diana, in contrast, she does not need a plan. She's very intuitive. She's instinctual. She senses her prey. So she follows her gut feeling. And she was completely independent from society and rules. So Diana lived far away from Mount Olympus. She never asked Jupiter for anything, her father. She claimed in front of Jupiter what she wanted, and she got it. And here's to say, maybe Diana was raised by her mother together with Apollo, far away from Mount Olympus, from Jupiter. because Leto, Diana's mother, was an affair that Jupiter had. So Diana really grew up with his mother and independent from authority figures, from paternal authority figures. And Pallas Athena, she had no mother. So of course, she had a mother, but that was ignored. And so the myth tells us that Pallas Athena was born out of the head of Jupiter. So she is Jupiter's daughter. So when we imagine that little Pallas Athena, born from the head of her father, without a mother, without a present mother. So she had to be dependent on Jupiter. She had to be Jupiter's girl. She had to be dependent of this paternal authority figure, because when she would not be Jupiter's girl and connected to her father, she would not survive and be alone. So we see that within the Pallas archetype, there is more dependency on father figures and authorities than in the Diana archetype. But I'm completely open. If you have another opinion, please send me a message. I'm super excited about learning more. But I think that Pallas really helps Diana to have a strategy, to have a plan, to not get lost and confused in the forests. Pisces, confusion. And Diana helps Pallas to stay connected to her own values, to integrity, in alignment with our own truth. And when we look here at the chart, we see Diana and Pallas together with Black Moon Lilith, and that is also retrograde. And Diana on this day in a sextile to Uranus, retrograde in Taurus. So it's really about this finding a way, finding strategies that are in alignment with our values, Taurus, that are maybe against the normal path, against the path, the way that we may have thought our way is. So maybe it's all about letting go of our idea, what we expect from ourselves, what others expect from us. Let go of the map. Let go of our map and follow our inner compass. And don't get confused. Pallas Athena have a certain plan, but it's all about being flexible. So Diana, Pallas Athena in Cancer, I think she holds this wisdom of that every plan, every strategy has a good plan includes time to rest. A good strategy includes times of rejuvenation where we don't constantly fight, but where we rest and reflect. And I think that both together, Pallas and Diana, both in water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Black Moon Lilith, there too in Cancer. It's very much about this rewilding of feminine energies, and it's independent from gender. So really the feminine principle as a nighttime consciousness, as the idea of a balance between rest and activity. And they both know that often it's not at all about reaching a goal, but it is about the transformation and evolution that we experience on our way to a goal. And maybe this goal has to change at the moment. But that's actually not that bad, because it's all about our process and our cycle and our the cycle that sometimes goes inward, the spiral that sometimes goes inward, so that we can then afterwards spiral outwards when Mars is direct with more wisdom, with more integrity, in a more aligned and truthful and self-honest and honest and sincere way. And let go of our conditionings, let go of expectations, let go of what we think we have to fulfill in this life, and come back to something that is true and not that distorted as, I mean, when we look in our world, it's a distorted system. Pluto and Capricorn. It's a system that does not work any longer. It's about a return to our true nature, the reclamation of natural law, the rewilding of our true nature. There is another trine that I want to talk about shortly. I don't have the chart because it already happened. It is the trine between Diana and Hygeia. I have written down some notes about that, so maybe we look at that. So Diana and Hygeia, the trine was exact on September 18th, but it will be in a 10-degree orb until October 4th. And I highly recommend you to watch the Hygeia talk by my dear friend Martha Hines. You find that here on EA Zoom meetings, and maybe the link will be, the video will linked below this video, because there Martha Hines talks in depth about Hygeia. But I see, Hygeia is the healer. She's very much about the medicine that illness can hold for us. She's about hygiene and healing. And we see both very strong female figures, Hygeia in Scorpio with the South Node, Diana in Pisces with Neptune. The healer and the huntress looking to each other in a trine. And I think they really work well together. Not only because there's a trine between the water between the water signs, but also Hygeia plus Diana. So I think that we need a certain kind of deconditioning and liberation. So liberate from our corsets that are too tight, so that Hygeia's medicine can enter our system. So this idea of really let go of too tight corsets, so that you can be free to receive Hygeia's medicine and Hygeia's gifts. And also with Hygeia and Scorpio, I think it's really a deep, deep cleansing and purging process. It's really about looking into our darkness, purge, clean, get clear, let go of everything that is already dead, Scorpio, what is making us sick. And that needs some courage. And I think Diana can give us this courage and strength to go deep. And even her wisdom of following our intuition, where to go. Where do we need Hygeia's medicine? And Diana can help us with that. I want to look at the charts again if I have forgotten about something. Yeah, maybe we look at the last chart. That is a little look into the next year. Diana's ingress into Aries on January 21st. And this is just a couple of hours before the new moon in Aquarius. So we see at that time, but it will be on the same day here in Austria, but I think, yeah, I guess in the US too, maybe one day after, but the new moon will take place on 1 degree Aquarius and conjunct Pluto and Capricorn in its last degrees in Capricorn before he enters for the first time Aquarius. And we will have at that time Venus and Saturn together in Aquarius, and Diana in 0 degree Aries will sextile the new moon in 1 degree Aquarius. And yeah, we see her conjunct Juno, so she is on her way with Juno, conjunct Jupiter, and I think, and in a trine to Black Moon Lilith in Leo too. So I think this has very much, that has power. This chart has power. So Diana and Aries is really this, follow your gut, follow your instinct. She's direct. She enters new territory. She's the pioneer. She enters the wild unknown forest. So she goes, and together with Jupiter, really follow your soul's truth. Initiate something new. Decondition new moon in Aquarius. Come back to your divine intelligence, to your higher consciousness. Detach from conditionings. But I think that it is really, really important that we have Diana in such a strong position at this moment, because the shadow of the water bearer archetype, the shadow of Aquarius is to detach from our body, to detach from the earth, not only to detach from conditionings that are imprisoning us, but really to detach from being a human and just living in the higher chakras. And there's Diana in Aries, who is so connected to our animal body, who is so connected to our instincts, to our gut feeling. And she's saying, yes, come back to your higher self, connect with your higher self, connect with your intuition and gnosis, connect with the highest version that you are, connect with the natural isness of your soul. But don't forget, there's this animal body. Your soul is inside of this animal body. And it's really important to not lift off the ground or burn the ground down, to really bring back your higher consciousness into your body, into the earth, on the planet. And yeah, we have to establish new systems. We have to find new structures. We have to find new ways to live together, and to live together in harmony with the earth, to let go of patriarchal, hierarchical structures, to let go of all these repressive and oppressive systems, and to come back to systems. Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, to systems, and Saturn will enter Pisces soon at that time. So to systems that are in alignment with truth, with love, with oneness, with natural law. Jupiter conjunct Diana. And yeah, bringing together our humanness and our soul and our higher consciousness, so that we can create new systems here on planet Earth that are soothe the soul, that are in harmony with the nature, with the body, with the earth, with a balanced system of yin and yang, with a balance between nighttime consciousness and daytime consciousness, between being the huntress, the hunter, but also being the protectress, the protector of nature and of our own nature. And I think Diana is so, so, so important in this time. So important. She can be really a guide into the Aquarian age. And into ways to live that are in alignment and in harmony, and to let go of these conditionings that we are working machines and that we have to consume and produce, but that it is really about coming back to what feels natural. And I am convinced that what feels really natural for us, for our soul, what really, when we feel into our gut, when we feel into our heart, when we open our channels to higher intelligence, Uranus and Taurus, then this is in alignment with the higher will. When we are really connected to our heart and decondition from expectations and from certain rules that are unnatural, and that we have taken over from past lives, from centuries, from our ancestral lineages, and really say, okay, stop here. I'm the one that heals. I'm the one that rewires. I'm the one that comes back to my true nature, which is in alignment with the idea of being interconnected and one with the whole cosmos, with the earth as part of the whole cosmos. I think I close here. I really hope that you enjoyed these transmissions about Diana and my perspectives on that. As I already said, I don't consider myself as an expert. I'm super excited what you feel and experience now with Diana, maybe in the next couple of weeks and months with Diana. And please, contact me, sign up for my newsletters to stay in contact with me. I'm giving evolutionary astrology readings in German language and in English language. And if you can speak German, I'm starting my Astrology Living Intense program, which is a very intense 6 months astrological container at the end of the year. So if you are interested in that, please sign up for my newsletter. And for my English speaking audience, I'm offering workshops and teachings in English language too. And I will probably have a bigger astrology program in English language next year. So stay connected with me via my newsletter, via Instagram. When you want to learn more about my upcoming Diana book. So that's really exciting. And if you enjoyed this Diana video and want me to maybe do another video about Diana's transits in the future, please like this video, comment below, and reach out to me via mail. And I just say thank you, EA Zoom meetings, for giving me the opportunity to present, to talk here about Diana. She's so close to my heart, and I thank you for listening, for watching, and I send you wild and untamed greetings from Diana. And what I totally forgot to mention is one last thing. Martha, Hines, and me, we did a Diana workshop where we go in depth into Diana's archetype, her mythology, and especially we talk about Diana through the 12 astrological signs, through the 12 archetypes. And we not only learn about Diana, but also feel into Diana. So Martha guided us into a felt experience, which was channeled, and where we really felt into Diana in our body, how she's dancing through us, in us, with us. And you can buy this whole workshop as a recording and lots of additional material, such as the presentation of the workshop and links to several other Diana videos, and exclusive excerpts from my Diana book and Martha's book, The Goddess Speaks, where she writes about Diana too. All that you can buy as a package, that you can watch at any time, and you find the link to the Diana workshop in the video description. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're interested in Diana, I highly recommend to do the workshop.